Yeah, these lathes just keep following me home. I don't know what to do. So obviously I've gotten it into the shop. Uh, we brought it over last night. Had to go through a rather narrow path, but once we stripped the headstock and tailstock and basically stripped the lid down to the bed and the legs, we had a floor jack, that one over there, and a couch dolly. The floor jack went under one end, and the couch dolly went under the tail end, and we were able to basically just kind of roll it back and tow it into here and set it right down, and that worked out great. Got tons of tooling, change gears, steady follower, pretty much everything you could want for a machine such as this, including the much coveted milling attachment. Ways are in pretty good shape, relatively speaking. I did the carriage lock test. If you're not familiar with that, you run your carriage up close to the chuck, then you tighten that down just snug, and you roll it back across and see how much, if at all, it starts to tighten up and where it starts to bind. And that'll give you somewhat of a good idea of the kind of wear. Ideally, it should be the same across the whole length, but this lathe was built in, 1921, 22. Casting date on the bed is 21, and I looked up the serial number on Mr. Wells' website, and the serial number indicates that this lathe was built in 1922, so it seems that their castings were seasoned for several months to a year. Got the early apron. This apron has no neutral on the selector, and there is no lockout, so it is possible on this apron, on these early South Bends, to engage both the power carriage traverse and the half nuts at the same time, which, if you know anything about lathes, is a big no-no. You're sure to crash the lathe and break something. So, gotta be careful there. I may modify that so that it does have a lockout, and you'll get to see inside that apron, I'm sure, in the near future. Some damage here to compound and stuff. Somebody wasn't careful, and dings on the ways, but those can be stoned a little bit, and they shouldn't really harm anything. They're oil retention pockets. So here she is. I was just gonna make this a short video, and I've got some more video on a little 9-inch South Bend rebuild that I've got to upload and make some space on the phone here. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting project. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to mount the countershaft up. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to totally repaint this or not. I try to avoid it if I can. The paint on this is pretty bad, but it is a machine tool. I used this for all of about a half an hour. The paint's already scratched. So, it's not falling off. which is good. That's probably the only reason I repainted this, is because the paint was just falling off. So yeah, I still haven't figured out what to do there, but overall she's in pretty good shape. You can see some frosting there, though that's not a bearing surface, so there should be frosting there. Got the big 9-inch Skinner 4-jaw, which is nice to have. I think that that's going to be usable once I clean it up. Everything on this lathe moves. So, it's going to be a heck of a project. There's my motor. 3/4 horse. And I believe that's a GE. I think initially I thought it was a Westinghouse for some reason. But yeah. Pretty rare to find a lathe this old that is so complete and has its original counter shaft. It hasn't been bastardized, because a lot of times when these got converted to electric motor, you'll see all kinds of different setups that guys had, but almost all of them have done away with most of this counter shaft. And if you ever had to lift this thing, you would know why. It weighs a friggin' ton. Getting it back here the other day was, you know, there's a reason they put these up in pieces when you install them. Alright. Like I said, this is just going to be a little short video introducing you to the new 13. It's a model, catalog number 34C. So, and I think the 35 series was the first ones that they had the slightly newer apron. Well, that about does it for this video. I'll try to make these a little bit shorter, because I'm continuing to have trouble uploading the longer videos. With the things like the end getting cut off, you know, and I'm thinking that that's maybe because the video is a little long, and something in I'm working with limited memory here, you know, because I do all this on my phone. It's only a 16 gig phone, which means it's not really 16 gigs, it's more like 14 gigs, you know. And these videos takes up a lot of space. So anyhow, that does it for this edition. And you know, I'm gonna be the way I'm gonna organize this is like I've done with some of my other series of, you know, rebuild videos, is I'm gonna have them on a playlist on my channel. So this lathe will have its own playlist, and anything related to working on fixing this lathe up is going to be in that playlist. So it should be easy to find and navigate to, you know, things will be put up in chronological order. So it should be easy for you to follow. I know that some people have done some video series and stuff, and the way they put up, it's been really difficult for me to follow, and it's really handy when they've created a playlist, so that I can just go and see the videos that are related to that machine restoration that I'm interested in, because I watch these videos on YouTube as well. You learn a lot, you know. Every restoration or every rebuild comes with its own set of quirks. You know, there's always something different you gotta deal with. We may have to make some new bronzes here, and possibly regrind and polish the spindle. But we'll address that in another video. So, if you like these videos, please do like them. If you have something to say or have a question, you know where to go with that. Put it in the comments section. And if you'd like to see more, please do subscribe.